What is going on, people? Today we're going to be talking about Trickstar because it is the first familiar that I actually go ahead and max out completely. And when I mean completely, I mean everything. The skills, the army talent, everything. Now, because I have not actually spent much on familiar packs to kind of like get the skills up, the levels up, etc., I've had to kind of be like very picky as to what I level up first and then next and all that. So I have a lot of familiars that have things that are maxed. Like you see, some of these have 2, some of them only have 1, but I've been very picky as to what I actually want to go ahead and max out. But Trickstar is definitely the first one that I have everything maxed out on, and I want to go ahead and talk about why. Okay, now when we talk about the skills, the first one is the level 10 Stellar Intellect. Now, I guess I don't really have to tell you why research speed is always good to have. I mean, shoot, you see people 1 billion might, 2 billion might, and they're not full research. They still have some research to do. So the higher your research, the better it'll be. So 5% research speed, yes, please. Now, the next one is Astral Assistance, and this is pretty much a free 10% ranged attack boost. Like, we all know, we all like to show our attack power, you know, hey, I got a 600%, 700%, whatever it may be, and this adds to it. So it's not like a hidden percentage or anything like that. This goes directly into your green stats. By the way, if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about here, if you go over here to the left, the infantry attack, ranged attack, cavalry attack, to the left is your stats when you do not have your leader, whether your leader is imprisoned, shelter, etc., in another march. That's your stats with no leader. On the right, the green ones, those are your stats with your leader. Now, of course, my stats don't really change much because I don't have any army talents right now, and I don't have any actual gear. But for instance, if I was to put my speed gear, you would see that most of the speed gear is cavalry, so the green will go up to 344. Big difference, right? So when you look at that range, 10%, that goes directly into your green stats, and people love it when they can go ahead and get that any higher, no matter what, whether it's by research, by familiars, etc. People love it. So ranged attack, 10%, yes please. Now, Lucky Stars is the one that was absolutely the hardest ones to level up out of all of them, but because it's for good reason. Now, it grants 3 random Holy Star items, and it's only a 2-day cooldown at max. Now, I actually have it on cooldown, but where is it? Right here. It's going to be available to me in another 12 hours, but for instance, the last 2 times I have used this familiar, so basically the last, 4 days, one of the drops has been a 10,000 Holy Star drop. So I've gotten at least, I want to say I've gotten like 25,000 Holy Stars the last 2 times I've clicked that button. Just by clicking that button, I've gotten 25,000 Holy Stars the last 2 times. Now, of course, it is an RNG thing, so a lot of times you might go a week without any decent drop, like maybe the best drop is like 1,000. But if you look at it from a monthly perspective, like for the whole month, you're going to be getting a bunch of Holy Stars. And speaking of Holy Stars, I'm actually going to be waiting because I did the Phantom Knight, and I am right now at 310,000 Holy Stars. I'm going to be waiting until the seeds are available in the Labyrinth in order to try and get as many seeds as I can. 310,000 Holy Stars. I have figured that that's roughly about a gold seed. Might be a little less, but I'm hoping that I can get around a gold seed. So there's that. And then, of course, the one that we all love, and hey, depending on your stance on it, the army talent, Longshot. Increases ranged attack by 100% when 10% of your ranged troops have fallen. This effect can stack. Numbers of fallen troops required will be recalculated after each activation. And a lot of people try to do like the math, like, oh, if you do this and if you do that. All this really does, if you really just look at it, all this does is it tries to keep your damage consistent. So for instance, the damage that you're doing with 100% of your troops, you're going to be doing with 50% of your troops, because at 50% of your troops, your range attack is already at 500%. So all this tries to do is to not have your damage just completely fall off the map and to keep your damage consistent. Now, this is a tier 3 familiar, so there are like level 5 or tier 5 familiars that are even better, and yeah, you don't really want to hit those. So, but yeah, Trickstar, first familiar that I completely max out, and I gotta say, I don't regret it at all. Everything that it brings is just great overall for an account. So if you're on the fence as to what you want to max out next, and you have not completely maxed out Trickstar, I would highly suggest that you try to keep this familiar maxed out. But yeah, let me know what other familiar you guys think should be maxed out next, because that's what I'm looking to do at the moment. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, and until later, bye.